as an Fondation, but first of all, I have some question about your travel in Africa to watch the Tuareg situation.
Yeah.
And what is your opinion on what is passing here with the Islamists, with the Tuaregs? What is your opinion? You were.
Well, I mean, my first thing is that I have a very heavy heart, and I'm incredibly sad about what's happened, because when I was there making the program, I saw so many things that were very positive. You know, things like Mali. Mali was one of the few countries in Africa with a federalist state that wasn't centralised, and that's one of the things that the civil war with the Tuaregs established. Like when I was in Kidal, I had this kid come up to me and says, "You should make a program about us. I'm part of the children's parliament, you know, Parlement des Enfants, and also they had a Parlement de Femmes, things like this." There was all these kind of progressive, democratic ideas going on, you know.
It took me almost 3 days to get to Tel Rahar, and it's here where I caught up with the enigmatic Ibrahim.
Spécial
Oui,
pour toi et,
oui.
et la Tuareg. Et pourquoi?
Pour moi, je connais bien ici. J'étais là dans beaucoup de choses. Dans la rébellion,
Oui.
j'étais là. Je cache ici, je chante ici. Je connais bien. Et pour moi, c'est... Quand je suis là, je suis très calme, je suis très à l'aise, et je vois rien.
I think what's happened is that, well, I don't know, do you know, I don't know the ins and outs of the situation. It's very complicated as usual. But there are different factions within the Tuaregs. There are the growing sort of Islamist group, its origin is quite complex as well, because it was made up of people who were part of the GIS in Algeria, which was a really extreme form of, radical Islam. They split off from them to form a relatively more moderate group, relatively. But then, after 9/11, they changed their name to Al-Qaeda of the Maghreb. So, I mean, there's a very old Islamist organisation, you know, and they've been constantly conducting border raids for a long time. Now, what worries me is that the thing might escalate to how it is in Yemen, something like that, where the Americans step in and start providing drones, you know. But also the military as well. I mean, they didn't like the democratisation, they didn't like all the federalisation, they didn't like making concessions to the Tuaregs, so they've stepped in. You know, they were looking for a pretext to say, look at the Tuaregs, it's, you know, unstable.
Do you have some information about Rwanda? Do you know if they are still here?
No, I don't.
Are you afraid about what can passing?
I'm very afraid. I'm very sad as well. This lineup has been totally solid for 5 years, I think, 4.5 years. So yeah, this has been quite stable. Hasn't really been any changes. But we've added people, and there are different versions of the band as well. There's a sound system DJ version. There's an extended version where we have more doll players. We have strings. We have flutes. you know, so, and there's also the version that does the live soundtrack to La Haine, the film. So there's 4 different versions. I think every place is different. I mean, you know, so would you say playing in Toulon is going to be the same as playing in Paris? No. I don't like to group people according to national characteristics. I think it's quite a lazy thing to do. I think we all do it, but, you know, I do notice in France and England that they have this sort of too much nationalism in your mind.
Watch the Olympic Games?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I went to one of the events. I was quite anti-Olympics actually in some ways, but it's a question of like the whole thing, that brand, corporate control of it, the kind of security aspect of it, centralisation of power. The fact is that, you know, most of the money made will not go to the people. This is all obvious. This is the same with all large events, you know. But at the same time, I don't think that neutralised the internationalism of it and the good feeling from it. There's a lot of good feeling in Britain at the moment connected with the Olympics, and it's you know, there's some of the British athletes. You know, really reflects a new kind of Britain, you know, and I kind of like it. You know, I went to an event, a weightlifting event actually. I really enjoyed it.
When Tenario tour the world, they headline huge festivals, but they still seem most comfortable round the fire with a battery-powered amp and guitar. As Hassan told me, if it's a choice of sleeping under a roof or the stars, a true nomad will always choose the stars.